So one of the things that I get asked all the time is what started me down this journey? What got me into real estate investing? What got me into land investing? What got me into teaching others about this opportunity? And in reality, it goes back years, basically to my childhood and my upbringing and different events that shaped my life during that time. The first years of my life were fairly normal growing up. My father was a real estate broker. He was also an investor. He had done land deals in the 70s and 80s. And so that jump into land really came from him and from doing those things years ago. He had done a bunch of other real estate as well and had kind of started getting more away from land and getting into the brokerage and things like that. But that background, that desire, all of that was there with him, still went back for years. And I was always basically an entrepreneurial type kid. Growing up, I was a huge baseball fan, and I used to collect autographs from different baseball players. And one of the things that I would do quite regularly was I would basically get these autographs and I would keep some for myself. But then I had a business where I would sell some in order to go get others. I would trade them. I would do different things. And so basically, I was taking something that I was passionate about and I would use that. And I was doing it in school. I remember my father used to have a collectible business as well, and there was this kids that like collect different things, and I'd bring items to school and sell them to them, and all of these different things as well. So my entrepreneurial journey really goes back, to my grade school days, and it's always kind of been the person that I was. And then there's some different events that transpired in my life that really led me down this continued journey. The first one was that when I was 16 years old, I lost my mother. She died from cancer. And at that moment, I was amazed at the amount of support and outpouring that came to us. And just a year later, while I was a senior in high school, I actually wrote inside of my high school yearbook here as my life goal. I'll read it to you. It says to be successful and do my best at whatever I do and to help as many people as I can along the way. And so that's really what shaped my life from that point forward. I'm involved in a volunteer work that I spend a number of hours in every week. Myself and my wife do that. And so that's very important to us. And it's been the case now for over 20 years, basically our entire adult lives. We've both been doing that. And it's also transpired into our business life as well. And so that's kind of where things have come along. So when it came to real estate and investing, I went to trade school and I learned carpentry and I was doing those things and I focused on that. And another big event that happened is I was working with my brother, and he actually fell off a roof 3 stories and broke his back. Thankfully, it was. I mean, there's no such thing as a minor break of your back, but it was a minor break in that sense for what it was. And but basically, I realized that I was not going to be able to want to keep doing that, not being able to sustain that as I got older. Didn't want to take those risks, and he felt the same way. And so that's when I really started looking at real estate. And at this point, I'm only in my early 20s. And so I'm focusing on real estate. I had already looked at it somewhat because my brother had done spec homes and we had built those together, and I was realizing the value there. And so I was like, okay, I really want to be looking at real estate further. And as mentioned, my father already was in it. And so basically from that point on, for the next couple of decades that we're in now, I focused only on real estate, in real estate. And I started with different investments, and I was focusing on all different things. I actually started with brokerage and I did some commercial stuff and all these different things. And then I started focusing on doing lease options and things like that with rent to own properties. And then 2008 happened and we had to shift and we started focusing on short sale flips and REOs, things like that. And so in 2011, I was chatting with my father and we were started to realize, hey, let's look at land investing again, something that he was very familiar with. And so we got back into land investing at that time. And we realized that there was a lot of information out there when it came to land investing, but yet when we looked at it, there was a lot of pieces missing. So basically at that point in time, it was easy to go out and get these courses because they were all in binders and things like that. And so we basically went out and got a bunch of them off of eBay say at the time, went and got these things and then took those courses and kind of looked through them and pieced stuff together and came up with our own ideas and all these different things and met with attorneys and had documents created and all that. And we used that to basically get into the land investing business. And we did very well our first year. And then after that, we looked back and said, you know what, we're done with homes. We're only going to focus on land investing. And so since 2012 until now, that's been the case where the sole focus has been on land investing. Over 1,000 deals done in that time, and then helping many other people learn how to do it as well. And the way that I actually did help other people learn this was basically more because of demand than anything else. So I was actually at an event, I believe in like 2015 or 2016, that somebody was speaking at. And in that event, they happened to point to me and said, that's somebody that's actually doing this if you're interested in hearing about how this works. And so people came up to me and they were asking me questions. And after this event was over, I'm there for like an hour, hour and a half answering questions. Well, one of them asked me for my phone number. I didn't think anything about it. So I gave him my number. And then he called me within a couple of days and he basically said, I am interested in learning this from you. And I says, well, I don't teach it, but the person that you went and heard there, they have a program and they teach it. And he said, yeah, but they're just selling programs. You're actually out here doing this. I want to learn it from you. And so my education part of this started at that point in time because of that. And then that person that was teaching brought me on. I started working for them and I helped them and helped numerous people in their program learn. And a lot of those people went on to become teachers and educators and coaches themselves in this. And I decided to leave for personal reasons I'm not going to get into, but decided to move on. And I was basically done with coaching at that time. I said, I'm done with education. I'm just going to focus on the deals. And I had this demand to get. People started reaching out and were like, we really wanted to work with you. The whole reason that we came on board with this other program was because you were there. We wanted to work with you directly. And so I kept getting these things. And so basically I gave in and said, you know what, we're going to do this one little small training, basically live training. It was on Zoom. And we said, we'll do this. And this was in like 2019 and a bunch of people signed up for it. So they wanted it. And that's when we realized that there was a demand. And so we just kept doing that after the fact. And that's what led us to today. And so basically for the last decade plus, more than a decade, right? I've been a full-time land investor. I'm still doing deals day in and day out today. And also for the last 8 years or so, I've been an educator helping people to learn these things. And again, it goes along with that life goal that I had, being successful myself and helping as many people as I can along the way. So if you're looking at land investing, trust me, you're in the right place here. We're here to help you. We do take a different approach than others out there and really giving you information that you can use and that you do need to be successful in this business. So thanks for joining us. You got a little bit more information on me now, my background, my upbringing, why I got into real estate, why I got into land, and why I started teaching it. So thanks again for being here. Make sure to check out all of the content that we have for you. You'll thoroughly enjoy it, and it'll help you to become a more successful land investor yourself.